Hey guys, and welcome to another Build a Megazord video. This time I'm covering issues 12 and 13. Yep, we are covering the Mastodon head, or Zoo Mammoth if you're a Super Sentai fan. So obviously don't forget this is either going to be Megazord or Daijujin, depending on which fandom you're a part of. Now, what we're making today is going to be the start of this. Now this is going to take part over a few videos, and unfortunately because issue 18 is currently missing, we won't be able to do the back of the head or finish it off. But with what I've got at the moment, most of these videos are going to be okay, but issue 18 will be on its own at a later date. This I've obviously re-stickered to look like the original show model, like the Japanese toys and that, partly because the stickers when I got it were absolutely terrible, but yeah, it's just nice to have screen accurate. But let's start with issue 12. So in this piece, as you can see, we've got the front of the head, the top of the head, one of the circuit boards, some reflector bits for the eyes, the infrared, the eyes themselves, and that lovely M. So we're going to start with this piece, which this can pretty much hold the entire original Mammoth head inside it. Love it. Now this this feels very strange. It's a very, it almost feels like a chalkboard sort of surface. I don't know if that sounds weird, but that's just the sort of surface it feels like. What we're going to do is open up the screws, because I'm going to need them in a second. And before anyone comments, no, my scratches on my hand are not from how I use my knife. It's actually because I've got a kitten, and she is completely insane. Dump them in the corner there. Right, so this got a little knot, right, a little bit there. Just going to go in that hole there. 2 bits here, and a couple of bits here, just to help line up this, which is going to go and sit on the top quite nicely, I hope. Yep. Need a little bit of pressure just to push that in, so that's a nice tight fit there. And then we'll need to put screws in there and there. If I actually get this on the screw bit properly. So just putting them so you can see. You'll see just in there and there, and I will just tighten them up. Now see, I did have a little slip there, but it doesn't seem to have marked it, and that's the inside anyway. But there we have the actual dome of the Mammoth head. So next piece is going to be this and the M. So see, we've got one small piece, one small flat bit, one round bit, and a little notch there. They line up very nicely with that, so let's push these through. Easiest if you start with the circle bit first, and that will come in very nicely, which will then slot in just as nicely on the head front. So push that in, push it in again, and you should have a nice little click as it catches in just on the inside of the head there. And then you've got a single screw hole there, So just to hold it all together, put the screw in just here. And doesn't that look gorgeous? That looks absolutely gorgeous. Although I do notice it does seem to be an inverted M compared to the sticker there. And it doesn't go as far back. Interesting. Very interesting. Just comparing sticker designs, but what the hey. So, next we have this piece, which is, if I look at it against, yeah, it's a green see-through or translucent plastic. I've already got a fingerprint on it. Let me just wipe that. Got a lens cloth here for my glasses, so I can use that. Make it extra clean. Again, you've got a little bit of sprue marks on the side there, but that shouldn't affect anything. It's not anywhere that's going to be visible. And I believe, looking at my other one, and if I look at the magazine, yes, the red line on this will be at the bottom. So this will come in and sit on these two pegs here. Come on. Yeah, on there. Alright, there we go. So that's on there. And then on top of that will be the infrared sensor, which will sit just there. And then once again we screw it in. Now I'm actually going to take a break in between videos, I'm saying now, because I have seen with quite a few people's videos that there is light bleed. So I'm going to look for some electrical tape just so I can cover up a few of the gaps to make sure we don't have any light bleed, because even on the front of this magazine, I'll show you in just a second, you can see there is some light bleed on the front of this. You can see there with the lights on, you can see there is some light bleed coming through that. So once I've finished with this issue, before I move on to 13, I'm going to see if I've got any electrical tape that I can use just to seal up the gaps, which I think are just going to be around here, and just see how that goes. Now I've got an eyepiece here. Look at the front of that quickly. Yeah, that looks beautiful there. Next we have the eyes. So the eyes have it. Which way does this go? So that should be like that. So that will fit in there. And it will have this. But which way round? Yep, see we've got a little. So this is the other one. I want this one. There's a little notch there just to keep it in place, which will be one of these notches here. That right there. That will come over one of these LEDs. And then when screwed in place, that should, because I forgot to mention, it is silver on the inside. So that's going to reflect the light from the LED and just reflects it out of these eyes. And I do believe, if I look at the book, yep, it's going to be exactly the same on the other side. So I'll move this out of the way. Pop the other eye into place. Put the other reflector in. lining it up nicely with that. And then we can screw it all in. 4 screws. Now, looking at this, I'm wondering if it actually is silver plastic, because it's a little bit scratched there, unless the paint escapes. That's either silver paint on the black plastic, or black paint missing from the silver. Oh, hold on, where's that not going in? So, is that lined up properly? No. Ah, there we go. Be pushed down just a little bit. So it seems this side seems to be almost flush with the board. This side, and it could just be because I haven't put the screw in yet, seems to be lifted away very slightly. So I'll see if putting the screw in makes any difference. Okay, so this is now in. Now, interestingly, I'm not sure how well you can see, but this side seems to be right up against the circuit board, but this side there is a gap. They're both in properly. See there what I mean about the silver? But they're both in place properly, both screwed in. There just seems to be a little bit of space there. So yeah, I will look for some electrical tape and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so as you see here, we've done this much. Now, I did figure out why that second eye socket wasn't going in properly, and that was because this piece had actually gone in slightly and was actually wedged inside the socket. Now you can see I've done a little bit of taping with some black electrical tape. Tried to keep it neat. Obviously I've left the plug socket accessible, which obviously you need. But I've just gone round, so if I shine a light through here, I'm not seeing anything there. Hopefully that will mean when these eyes light up, you're not going to get the same bleed through on this part as you have on the magazine, seen on the magazine itself. So that's my thinking for that anyway. So with part 13, we're starting on the ears. I don't think it matters which one I start with, so let's start with this side. And as we put it down, it will come over. A couple of screw holes. Oh, snaps into place. Hope that was a good snap. But yes, just clips into place, and that will come on there. Screws. Hey, screws were hidden underneath, right. A moment there, I thought there was missing all the screws from the part, so let's try and put the stuff back. Okay, is everything in the right places? Because I don't want to mess it up. get back in properly. Right, there we go. So, screws. We have 5, so that'll be 4 to use and 1 spare, because as I said, they're very nice. They always make sure you have a spare screw. So this will be obviously doubled, but each side has 2 screws. So let's put them in a little bit loose. Just make sure it's in properly. So there and there. Oh, popped out. That obviously wasn't sat in place properly. It is now. So that's that side. We'll just seat this side in properly. This thing is getting big. Now, the more I see of this, the more I'm like, what have I gotten myself into? Because everything is just so big, and it's like, wow, this is really big. So, just to give you an idea, that's what we've got now. So I'll just tighten these. Okay, and there we have the ears on. Next is quite a simple piece of just clipping on these parts. So we've got little tabs on each one, with the red going on the outside, so you know which piece is going to go in. So this one's got 3 tabs there. The red line goes on the outside. I need to figure out which side I'm looking at. So that's going to go on this side because it's that piece, and it just clips into place quite nicely, very nice and shiny. So it looks like each piece is going to go where it wants, not where I want. So that's good. That's very good actually, because it means I can't mess it up. So I have to make sure I'm looking at the 3 holes, making sure they match up, making sure the red bit is in the right place on the outside, and just clip it into place. And if it is possible to make a mistake on this, I don't think it's going to be easy to sort. So I am glad that they have made it as they have. So yeah, red piece again, holes lining up. That's going to be there. Again, holes lining up with the pegs. Get a nice click. And last one. There we go. Give it a nice little rub down. Doesn't that look beautiful? And the size comparison is just amazing. That is that's quite something there. Okay guys, so that was 12 and 13. I'll be back next time with 14 and 15. I'll see you then.